Hello everyone, welcome to We Love Soap TV. I'm Roger Newcomb.
And I'm Damon L. Jacobs, author of Absolutely Shoulдлess, The Secret to Living the Stress-Free Life You Deserve, available on Amazon. And we are sitting here with two of the most talented, futuristic artists of the internet and the future of the soap operas. This is Brian Hewson and Greg Turner, producers of Empire, the series. Guys, it's so great to see you and talk with you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for inviting us.
You were also nominated, may I say, for an Indie Soap Award. You were in our first annual Indie Soap Award show, which was wonderful.
I first interviewed these guys June 2009, a few weeks before Empire.
That's right.
And they were really inspiring. They had such passion and love for the genre. It really, I kind of came up with the Indie Soap Beat a few weeks later when we debuted our podcast, and they were an inspiration kind of behind that. Because I thought, these guys are so talented and so passionate, but they don't seem to, this type of person doesn't get a chance to write for like a daytime network soap.
That's true.
It's too bad.
Have you, I know this was referred to in a previous interview, but had you tried or had you reached out to networks before? Or?
Yeah, we tried to get our feet in the door.
We had different opportunities, not necessarily writing, but within daytime that could have led to other things had we gone in, but we didn't.
Yeah. Was there a particular soap that each of you had your eye on that you really were trying to, or could have thought that you wanted to write for?
I've watched As the World Turns longest in my life, and I certainly came to New York, hoping to, by their 50-year anniversary, be a writer on there, and then, that didn't happen. So
ironic.
And sad all around, I think, but yeah.
How about you?
I don't think there's one. General Hospital is the show that I love the most, but I almost feel like I wouldn't want to write for that because it would take something away. So probably like One Life or
I'd love
All
to
My
write for One
Children.
Life or All My Children.
Probably be
or
where I
Days,
wanna go.
or any of them.
Any of them. The rest is probably beautiful.
Let's name them all.
Well, certainly your character-based approach and humanistic approach to storytelling would have been a welcome change of pace, I think, on any of those shows.
Sure.
Now, for those who have not yet seen Empire, turn this off and go watch it, and then come back. And we had a little, Roger did a little trivia contest to help our viewers catch up with Empire Season 1.
Right, so here's Nick Lewis and Ryan Clardy competing in a Season 1 trivia challenge. Okay, I'm here with Nick Lewis and Ryan Clardy, and we're going to be doing some Season 1 Empire trivia to test your knowledge. I know you guys know this really well, so...
Yes.
So I'll ask each of you a question. If you get the answer wrong or you don't know, I'll let the other person answer, and then we'll go back and forth. Okay, first question for Nick. At what event did the Season 1 episodes flash back to?
My brother's engagement party.
Yay!
Okay. Oh, doing more specific? Or
Which brother? You have two brothers.
not Thomas. Remember that guy? Thomas, his engagement to Marin.
Okay. So Season 1 opened, Ryan, Season 1 opened with Kathryn cleaning a bloody spot on the floor. Who told her to keep cleaning?
Oh, Thomas again. Thomas was like,
Thomas. Yeah, he drove a lot of stuff. Okay, there's a scene where all the brothers are in a room in the first episode with Marin, and she comes in and she's very upset with Thomas because of a certain headline on the cover of Empire. Nick.
What's the headline?
Yes.
Oh,
that's a tricky one.
I know. Okay, so it's like Lucy Lively found snorkeling at local nightclub or something.
I don't know.
No, it's.
I don't know. Do you know?
I like the snorkeling app. No, it's about Lucy Lively, probably seen throwing up in some celebrity's trash can. I don't know, something.
It was Lucy Lively gets trashed with Mama at Posh After Hours.
Oh, I was close to that. Yeah. That's what I call snorkeling. Sorry. We're not amused.
Okay, for Ryan. Who did Marin say was her oldest friend in the world?
Who did Marin say was her oldest friend in the world? Wow. God. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't remember.
Nick.
Evan Haven.
Evan.
Oh! Well, that's why you get to get. That's a freebie for you. That's easy for you. I thought I was her best friend.
Okay, I quizzed Greg, the executive producer and writer, earlier, and he amazingly got this. I thought this was a tough one, but we'll see. Who did Evan and Marin take to the junior prom?
Wow.
Oh, see, in my defense,
And you play Evan.
I play Evan.
So you have
You're right. So in my
an
defense,
event.
I will say that in that scene, Evan can't remember the name of the girl that he took.
But they eventually say it.
Hang on. And he also doesn't refer to the Marin's date as a name either. He calls him a bad name, a football something bag. So that's my long justification for why I have no idea.
Well, that's good.
Is that-
But I mean, the description of the football player was good. That's close.
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
That's close enough.
It's like half a point.
Any clue?
I don't think you should look at me.
Marin took Mike Johnson, football something bag, and Evan took Crystal Linwood.
Crystal Linwood.
Crystal Linwood.
Yes, Crystal, exactly.
She's got the
I
Linwood.
remember.
Crystal, I'm sorry. It was a long time.
He still
We're
loves
going to
you.
run an Evan questions. How old was Evan in season 1?
Oh, good one. 30. Wait, yes, wait.
No.
No, yeah.
No.
29.
Yes.
Oh,
He says like
He said, I'm 29
I
years
put
old.
it over. I put it over.
And then
I was one over.
All right. This one's easy. You had a junior prom, so this is easy. Which Haven brother was disowned by Cody?
Kane.
Of course.
Yay.
No, I'm very disownable as a.
So Ryan, which Haven brother tried to quickly have Cody and Sandra declared dead so he could have Kane thrown out of the house?
Well, once again, Thomas, the evil brother.
Really bad. Okay. Oh, this is a tough Kane question for you. Not tough.
All right.
Why did Kane throw his cell phone in episode 4?
Oh. Because yeah, I kind of know because he couldn't get his boyfriend on the phone. He wouldn't pick up the phone.
And the boyfriend's name?
Wait for it. I know who he's played by. Alex.
Yes. I'm impressed. Oh, this is an easy one for you because I'm just going back and forth. What is Kane's job?
He is a private detective.
Private detective.
Yeah, I finally get an easy one.
In the first several episodes, Thomas goes to visit Jake at this motel, which is only called motel, and he insisted on having a different place to live. Why did he say he needed a different place to live?
Because, well, he gave a lot of reasons, right? He said that this is like a crack den, and I could get mugged or killed. I could get murdered.
Shot. Close enough.
Shot.
That's impressive.
That's impressive. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ryan, what did Kane find in episode 5 that made him very happy?
Did Kane find in episode 5?
Cookies.
Oh, I wish. Kane find in episode 5. Oh, cigars.
Cubby's Cuban cigar.
Well done.
Good job. That was
Wow, yeah, that was
I
good.
remember that.
I wouldn't have gotten
I remember that by the smell, but I'm not telling you
Okay,
what
for Nick.
flavor they were.
For Nick, what surprise guest did Thomas bring to the reading of the will?
his son. Jake.
Yes. What did Cubby leave Kane in his will?
Nothing, because he didn't have anything to give.
Wow.
These guys are good.
That's a
trick question. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a trick question.
Cubby made a DVD of his will. What did he say to his sons that was supposed to be a tender moment with them?
I think he said something like, "Try to make me prouder in death than you did when I was alive."
Wow. That's good.
Yeah. Whose dad hasn't said that to them?
Oh,
That's a
wow.
personal moment.
Now you're getting a really easy, Ryan. Who inherited the Haven Mansion?
I want to say the chimp Bobo, but no, this is Kane.
King.
Where is Bobo? Oh, yeah, I've seen him.
All right. What shocking event did Kane, Marin, and Evan walk in on at the end of episode 6?
Oh! how do I
You were there.
say this?
If you want to if you say something back, I'd love to hear how you describe this.
We walked in on Thomas and Jake in a compromising position.
More specific.
Who was compromising?
You can go all Shakespeare and say carnal embrace.
Cardinal, they weren't really embracing them because they were facing away from each other.
That's close enough. That's the point. Okay. What did Kane say in episode 7 after making the shocking discovery?
Probably a lot of things.
No, the first thing that he said.
Something like, "You gotta be kidding me?" Something like that.
No. Oh. This is your chance for the steal.
Was it?
Marin says like, "Oh my God" or something, and then Kane says something. What is it?
Where are the twins' clothes?
Yes.
Is that right?
Oh my God!
Okay, where are the twins' clothes?
Wow. Ready for that
Mind
scene
like a
callback.
steel.
This one, Greg Turner actually missed.
Oh.
How did Kane and Evan find out that Thomas had posted bail?
Oh, because your friend Rodney down at the station, right?
Yeah. Excellent.
Wow. Who's going to be on season 2?
Played by Christian Barber.
By
Nice.
Christian Barber.
Complete accident.
Check it out on the website.
Wow, I'm like really impressed.
Oh, good. You got that one.
Not that I'm not impressed with you.
Hey, it's alright.
Okay. What happened immediately after Evan accused Thomas of killing Cubby and Sandra?
What happened? Is this like a spelling bee where you can like repeat a question?
Yeah. Good stop. Codehead.
Oh, was that the moment when Mom and Dad walked in?
Yes.
Woo!
Cubby and Sandra walked in the room and said they're not dead.
This is the first time Evan takes a stand. Evan knows something. Nope. Doesn't know that.
Not at all.
No.
All right, final
Good kid
question.
then.
Final question. First one to answer can.
Whoa, speed round.
The speed round.
There's nothing.
What did Sandra confess to Cubby about the Haven brothers?
That we're not all.
That they're not hers.
Uncle.
They're not hers.
Yes, they're not.
Well, not mental stuff.
I'm Uncle Arthur's.
Wrong.
We're Uncle.
Oh no, they're all hers, but not Cubby's.
Yes,
I'm
we're like half.
I'm Cubby's and your uncle.
It involves
Uncle
math.
Arthur
That's
from
why we can't
English.
answer correctly. Alright. Uncle Arthur, but we're not related.
I think Uncle Arthur's dead. I don't remember.
He's on Bewitched.
Yes.
All right, Greg Bryan, do we have a final score here?
Yeah, well that was 11 or 12 for Evan. For Nick.
For 11 or 12 for Nick, and Ryan
7 for Ryan.
7. Oh wow.
Good showing! Show me your showing.
Good job. So you now get to appear in season 3.
Yes.
Okay, so now that you've been caught up on some of the details of season 1, and you watched it once, go watch it again because it's so good. It's that good. You want to see it again.
I shared a taxi with Greg yesterday, and I read him off all of the trivia questions. And
I did very well.
I was impressed. I mean, of course, you did write it, produce it, create it with Brian. You guys. So I would expect you to know it, but some of the questions
it's been
were
a year.
some were obscure, and you have written season 2 and filmed season 2. So
We're writing season 3 now, so that's a lot
We're
in our
almost
heads.
done.
Wow.
to remember
Wow.
some of the quotes, to remember some of the things was pretty impressive. So great job.
So let's focus on season 2. Starting April 27th, viewers will be able to tune in to start to see Empire season 2, and they go to Empire the Series. EmpireTheSeries.com to start to see season 2. And there's some really exciting changes that are going on this season. Tell us.
Absolutely. Well, we have additions to our cast. Our cast of 9 is now a cast of 16.
All these unknowns, no one watching this has ever heard of
No one's
anyone
ever
who's in
heard of
season
that.
2.
Well, maybe you might have heard of Tina Sloan. She was on a little show called Guiding Light,
Oh!
along with Orlagh Cassidy.
And we love Soaps TV in the past. by the way.
Absolutely. And they both were gracious enough to take characters and make them their own for season 2. These brand new characters that pop up on Empire. And they're really wonderful characters and not what you would expect after watching them on Guiding Light.
Well, Tina Sloan, and for those who are watching or who haven't watched Guiding Light, played the supporting role of Lillian for over 25 years. And Lillian was just always most of the time, the calm, supportive nurse. At the very beginning, she had a storyline where she was in a domestic violent relationship. But for the most part, she's just been this really supporting, nice, comforting mother, nurse. And I think on Empire, we get to see something different.
Yeah, a little bit. She brings out a whole new side of herself.
Well, I mean, obviously, if you saw the trailer, her first line is "The bitch is back," so
Which people seem to love.
Yeah, so on Twitter
people are going
calling
crazy over
her,
it.
they're just calling her Tina the bitch is back Sloan on Twitter, so because of the trailer, so that's
right.
exciting, yeah.
That's right. And then you also mentioned Orlagh Cassidy.
Orlagh Cassidy, yeah, absolutely.
Who played Doris on Guiding Light for 12 years before the show ended, and certainly had a front and center spot during the Otalia storyline of the last year the show was on the air. She played the mayor who actually came out of the closet.
Yes, she did.
Tell us a bit about what we're going to get to see for Orlagh in Empire.
Well, she's playing like a Dina Lohan sort of character, kind of like a boozy mom. She is. She's
Allegedly.
She's Marin's mother, and she's also the mother to one of our new characters, Lucy Lively, who's a starlet.
Who you hear about in the first season.
If you watched the Indie Soap Awards, you actually saw her present.
Yes,
Afton.
yeah.
So we gave you a few previews.
Introducing Afton Bogiano.
That's right. Now, one of the things that I really liked and was kind of surprised by in season 1 was some of the more graphic portrayals of gay sex. Tell us what's coming up, so to speak, in season 2.
Well, we really wanted to push the envelope because we're like, you know what? We didn't get hired by ABC or CBS or NBC, so we're like, we're on the internet, so we can do these things, so why wouldn't we? We'd be stupid not to. So we did. You might not see the graphic nature, but you will see gay relationships.
There's gays. You'll eat, sleep, and breathe gays when watching it. There are gays everywhere.
there are gays, as they're called gays. But Kane's boyfriend, we get to meet Alex, who's played by Fabio Talercio.
Right, and Fabio is Fabio. But one thing I was mentioning to you guys yesterday that I was so impressed with, the character of Alex, the character of Rodney, who we have an interview with a little bit later in the show. All these characters were referenced in season 1. And on any other show, they might have just been names tossed in. But you guys had a plan. These characters are all coming to life in season 2. And it's just really impressive to see that plan come into place.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's
we
right.
always knew they were going to show up.
Yeah.
So speaking of Tina Sloan and Orlagh Cassidy, Roger, you had a chance to talk with them recently.
Yes, Greg and I went over to Tina's apartment, very nice, and we did a segment about, Tina has the book and a play called Changing Shoes, and we kind of did a segment on the shoes of the second season of Empire with the ladies of Empire. So Tina Sloan, Orlagh Cassidy, Kathryn Neville Browne, and Kate Forsatz. So take a look.
Hi, I'm Tina Sloan, and all the ladies of Empire are here at my apartment today to talk about the shoes that we didn't wear, or we wore during the shooting of Empire, but nobody could see. For instance, well, you will see these. These are my pink slippers. These are high heels I wore, but somehow they never got my feet. These are Lillian Rain shoes that I wore too, which I wear all the time with sadness, sort of. And I think the reason they decided to do shoes today is because I have a book that's on Amazon called Changing Shoes. And if you can go out and pre-order it, that would be wonderful, because I think the publishers like that if you get a lot of pre-orders. Anyway, all of us are here today to talk about Empire, to talk about our shoes, and for me to talk about my book. And do you have any questions, Raj?
Yes. Just, you're a new character this year, Theodora Grant Haven.
That's right.
And we saw in the trailer, the bitch is back.
Oh, the bitch is back.
Can you reveal anything more about the character or preview?
Oh, she's divinely bitchy. I mean, she just does what she wants to do, and she doesn't give a damn what anyone thinks. It's so refreshing. As a woman, it's refreshing. As Lillian Rains, it's truly refreshing to be totally unfettered. Not quite that unfettered, but to be free, and just, I think it's because she has so much money. She doesn't care what anyone thinks, but she also has a real call to power that I don't think one sees that often in women. you saw it in Beverly McKinsey when she played Alexandra Spaulding. There have been a few characters on Daytime where you've seen it, or certainly in Dynasty you saw, the great actresses being so difficult. And I think Theodora's somewhat, I wouldn't say she was difficult. She just knows what she wants. And fortunately, one of her best friends is around, who was one of my best friends on Guiding Light, Orlagh Cassidy.
Yeah.
And so, she and I sort of get to be naughty together, which is so exciting. It's sort of like Adam and Eve, eating that apple. You always really want to do something bad and eat that apple, but most of us don't get a chance to do that. And certainly, in the last 26 years as Lillian, I have never really gotten to do anything bad. I did something bad by mistake when I killed Maureen. But when I caused Maureen's death, well, I didn't cause it, but it looks like I did. Maybe I did. My breast cancer caused it, I think, in reality. But I haven't really had that chance to be so mean and bad and get to come in and tell people off. Oh, I've never had such fun.
What can you tell us about Colleen? I think we got a hint from some of the dialogue in season 1, but
Colleen is very ambitious, but ambitious sort of for her daughter, and kind of uses her daughter a little bit as a puppet, but she likes to be in the center of things and likes to be in control, likes to be in power, but knows it's sort of through her daughter that she's doing this. But she has very good motives because her daughter loves doing it. Her daughter loves the publicity and the limelight as well. So I think they both sort of like it. I have a little bit, she has a little bit more trouble with the other daughter, but.
You were on Guiding Light for 11 years, and eventually Doris's daughter came onto the scene, and I thought the last year between Doris and Ashley was really great, especially how she came out and Ashley was so accepting, and I thought that was really beautiful. So their relationship wasn't perfect, but I think it ended in a good place. How would you compare that to Colleen's relationship with her daughters on Empire?
They're totally different because they're two totally different people. Because the Doris-Ashley thing was, Ashley as a character was probably more similar to Marin's character because Ashley was very sort of strong-headed and stubborn and, was always looking for, justice and the right thing and, stuff like that. And I don't think that Lucy is like that. And I think Lucy is more of a playmate to Colleen, so they play together a little more. But Ashley and Doris had a long. It's funny, they never showed this, but we were always thinking that they were going to do a flashback to Doris in the trailer going to law school. Like living in a trailer with Ashley in her jean shorts and her curlers and like, pick up your gloves. They had some long history because you didn't meet Ashley till she was 17. I mean, the night that I was reading the script the night before with a cup of tea, and it was like, don't be too hard on her. And they were like, well, what's it to you? And the next line was, she's my daughter. I was like, she's what? Who is that? And I showed up, I said, oh, I have a daughter. I mean, she sort of just showed up at 17. Anyway, so there's a long history there with that. And I think in Empire, you sort of catch it in the middle of, which I think is interesting, the two daughters and the relationship with the two, but I think that Colleen gets to be 16 again, with the Lucy character.
We're talking about shoes today. What type of shoe person is Colleen, would you say?
I wore these, which, wow. I did wear in the show a couple of times in Empire. And they're probably just a tad bit young for Colleen. But Colleen will not admit that. And she will wear them and wear them and wear them, probably for years. Because they make her feel really cool. So that's why I wore these, because... And Doris probably wore these, but in secret.
At the local bar that people...
And while she was playing pool at the ladies' night bar.
Yeah.
With her fedora.
tell us about what's going to be happening with Marin in season 2, without giving away too much.
Well, Marin is trying to keep her world in order. She's kind of recouping from her unfortunate incident last season. And she's really just struggling to keep her life together and do the best she can and keep everyone else's lives together, I think. But she's managing.
Well, a lot of Empire fans want to see Marin hook up with Evan. Is that something that might ever happen?
Well, I mean, she is just getting over this whole fiancé unfortunate event. If you'd like to see the unfortunate event, it did take place in season 1, so make sure you catch up on season 1. But she has been friends with Nick Lewis's character, Evan. They've been best friends for their entire lives. So I think that their friendship, I mean, you never know.
I think of all the ladies of Empire that are here, Marin is probably the nicest character. So how would her shoes differ from those of Theodora or Colleen?
Well, Marin, she has very practical shoes, but not boring. She's very sophisticated and, I mean, business, but sophisticated. And she, well, I'll hold up a couple for you. You know, they're classy and stylish, but not boring. So she knows what she wants, and she kind of gets it done with, you know, looking nice at the same time. These were worn in the scene where she sees her mother doing shots at the bar with her 16-year-old sister.
For 9 episodes, she was seen like in flashbacks or
Yes, in black and white, but now we're back in color. Yes, which is very exciting.
So we only got one
Just
snippet of episodes of you in color before.
Right,
so
that's true.
We're very excited. And we're also very excited to see Sandra's shoes in color, maybe.
Okay, actually they are in color. Maybe that's why now Sandra's into color now. So, well, these are the black shoes. These are kind of our classic black shoes. We wore these quite a bit. Sandra likes heels. She likes, I think she likes to be tall. She likes to be one of the tallest women in the room. She has a problem with tall women. So she just kind of makes sure that she's one of the tallest women. So, but yes, color this season, very happy about that. So we have the red shoes. She also likes to make a statement and be noticed. So these are just little red shoes. You can't be depressed and wear red shoes. But Sandra can be angry and wear red shoes, so that works too. And then we have sort of this lovely little green suede number here. There we go. Note, they are tall shoes. So, you know, which kind of goes with her stature and her power and, you know, who she really is.
Do you think Sandra has grown or changed at all since season 1, or?
I would say more that she's being revealed. Sandra plays it all pretty close to the vest. She does care what people think, and she's very interested in maintaining a certain image, and at the same time, on another level, she just doesn't care, but she can maintain that image. But I would say in season 2, you're going to see a lot more of Sandra revealed. Some of that has to do with the circumstances. There are things in her world that are not going to her liking, and she does not take that very well. So she's going to do everything in her power to fix things the way she wants them to be.
How would you describe Sandra's relationship with Cubby at this point?
I would say they are somewhat, well, they're reconciled. Obviously, that's, for those of you who watched season 1, you would know that they worked things out as best they could, but there's definitely a little undercurrent. Sort of like, you know, that stuff that goes on underneath before the volcano blows, but it's definitely alive and going on. There's definitely an undercurrent of some resentment that's still there, but I think Sandra loves it. It keeps her life exciting. It would be too boring otherwise.
Well, she lied about him being the father of 2 of her children. She clubbed him over the head with a candlestick. Like,
but he beat on her first. He wailed on her pretty substantially. Don't forget that part, Roger. She was defending herself with whatever was nearest.
Well, she did have revenge children.
Yes, but that was revenge children because he had an affair first. So, you know, there is a cause and effect thing here which must not be forgotten.
Wow, cool. And that's so neat, Roger, because Tina Sloan actually told us about changing shoes last August before Guiding Light went off the air when we went to PPAC, and for me that was inspiring because it really is a tale about a woman who, despite losses and despite not getting the kind of roles she may have wanted to get, is creating her own, her own work and her own series, and how the death of Guiding Light was something that was very sad and tragic, but it also led to a lot of positive things, such as changing shoes, such as Empire, and having these actors available for Empire. Again, getting back to some of the things that I love about web soaps and I love about Empire, our fans are really upset about the whitewashing, heterosexualizing of daytime in the past few months, relative to even a year ago. And, you guys have characters that are diverse. Daytime is pretty much done with gay characters. After September, there's not going to be any. A couple weeks ago, the Fish story is over. A couple weeks before Empire is going to debut, Kish are gone on One Life to Live. But you still spotlight characters that don't necessarily fit into what ABC would call mainstream audiences. Now, was that a conscious thing on your part, or was that just happenstance, or?
Yeah,
It was definitely conscious.
Yeah,
Definitely
absolutely.
doing that.
And our biggest struggle is the time, because we're doing a much shorter show. So, between 5 and 10 minute episodes. So we don't want to water it down with too many characters, but we definitely wanted to, mix the pot up with lots of different people. Our show's set in New York City. If you walk down the street in New York City, you see lots of different people. So we wanted to tell their stories.
That's great. Now, getting back to writing soaps and writing it within this format, you actually received some training and education from one of the masters of writing
Absolutely.
soaps. Tell us about your work with Harding LeMay.
I took a class with Harding LeMay, Pete as he goes by, with Pete LeMay at NYU in the dramatic writing department. And it was phenomenal. It was really exciting. It was great that they offered that class and that they got him to teach it.
What was the name of the class?
It was probably called Writing for Daytime or something like that, but writing the daytime drama. It's been a few years, so I'm not sure I remember, but it was lovely because, he was a student of Erna Phillips, so that really was just kind of awesome, just being there with him and knowing that he learned so much from her, and he took stuff from her and was like, well, this is how I can make it work, even though you say it won't work, and things like that. But, actually Brian and I were just talking about some of the soap rules that I learned back then that aren't even necessarily true, which back then, each act, that aren't true anymore, I should say, each act was really supposed to be happening simultaneously. So between each commercial break, you can't have Carly, at Brady's pub and then have her show up at the hospital. You couldn't do that. You'd have to have a commercial break and then she'd travel. Otherwise, the audience would say she's in two places at once.
Right.
But nowadays, they disregard that, and I think it's fine in a way because they're, that obviously it happens on primetime all the time where people travel fast. But sometimes they're traveling from Chicago, really fast from one scene to the next.
Well, I think on daytime though, you have one conversation that's happening throughout the whole show, and then other stories in the same episode are moving from New York to Chicago, back and forth.
That's what we're talking about.
That's the kind of thing that
that's what Brian and I were talking about too, because we're trying to be better in our writing of Empire and making sure, if people are out at a club, but then other people are there's the time difference, and just making sure, and we only blame the soaps that we watch for teaching us badly. But I learned a lot more from Pete than just that. He just. He taught us really the three main things that should be in every episode. Is a generational story, a romantic story, and a melodrama. But now melodrama doesn't necessarily mean tied to the tracks. It could mean someone's cancer story, or just something a little more heightened. He was big on having those three things, which I try to keep in mind. I don't know how well I've done, but also big on having people do things. The characters do things. They shouldn't just be talking all the time. They should be potting plants, or they should be making dinner. They should be active. They should be shown, moving and shaking, instead of just I guess if you were to write an episode description, if your episode was just Susan tells Jack this, Bob tells Kim this, it would be well, all that's happening in your show is people are telling people things. So it's like seeing people actually do things was big, which I try to keep in mind also. And also he was against having characters sit around and talk about, well, when I had amnesia, this happened. So he said he saw an episode of something once after he stopped writing for soaps, and there were people sitting around talking about like their experiences with amnesia, which is funny because when the shows have been on for that long, sometimes several characters do go through things like amnesia.
My baby switch.
But he's like, but maybe they shouldn't all talk about it. But I don't know, you got to play the history too. So
the time discussion when I was doing my radio soap, that was something really important to me. I tried to take everything I didn't like or anything I would complain about and not do it. Is there any other things that you guys notice about daytime soaps that you kind of put into your mind that you don't want to do? Would you do like a microchip storyline?
I would hope not.
I mean, I doubt we'd do a microchip, but sometimes things it works if it's written right and people care about the characters. Things like that can work, but it has to not be forced, which sometimes it is.
I have to say, like with As the World Turns, I always love the realness when it's real, but it's like with the character of Paul, like for some reason, like some of those wacky storylines he plays well, that like the mind reading or the psychic connections, and when I hear that they're going to tell the story, I'm like, I don't want that on my soap, but I'm like, well, I'm interested actually, I don't know, so sometimes it works. And Brian
my favorite was Port Charles when they got vampires. I was like, score.
Really?
Yeah. For a second. It got a little kooky as it went on, but like that first was Tainted Love when they first introduced Caleb and Livy was running around whatever she's doing. I was like, this is fantastic.
So are we going to see any vampires in Empire?
Probably not.
Okay.
But never say never, I guess.
Well, we talk about this because Brian's whole, like my whole thing is keep it real, like only tell what we should tell. But Brian's thing, and this is sort of a valid point, is but we have these characters, we make them real, and then what happens when a vampire does show up?
Exactly.
He's completely fascinated.
What if vampires really show up? I love to see how
or aliens
or any of it.
We're not writing that. It's on season 2.
I'm just going to tell you guys that I am personally a fan of the Back from the Dead stories. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Well, we do have another interview with a member of Empire, Roger.
Right. I recently spoke with Christian Barber, whose character was referenced, and you saw in the trivia challenge, referenced in season 1. He shows up in season 2 as Rodney, and he's also appearing in a radio soap called The Leica Show, which has a really positive message. So he's doing 2 at once, and really good guy. So here's a preview of our interview.
It's good. Rodney's a good guy. He's a good guy, good heart. So it's a good thing to play that. And Empire is just it's so strongly written. Greg, Turner, and Brian Hewson, they did such an excellent job as far as shaping the characters from season 1, made that into a really strong story. And then they added in a lot of elements in the second season that I feel people are going to be really pleased with. And I think Rodney is going to be one of them. After having to read through, and I had seen episode 1, and then once we started shooting in season 1, once we started shooting season 2, I started to see like how they had woven the perfect web of stories. And like you say, I feel like a lot of daytime soaps now get complacent and they just bank on their previous viewing and they don't really try to come up with any innovations or even really flesh out a solid story. And I feel like they did what's missing on those things, and they made sure that they took what they had taken from season 1, wrote season 2, and they made sure that it perfectly connected.
All right, so that was Christian Barber, another new cast member. We talked about how the cast has expanded this year, but what other changes? I mean, it seems like the show's really growing, the momentum is growing. I noticed you guys are on Blip TV now.
Yes.
What's the difference from you from season 1 to season 2? Like, what has grown and changed that you can preview for us?
I mean, everything has grown and changed. I mean, we're going to be in high def now. Last year we were having the cast do their own hair and makeup. So this year we brought someone in to do that. We brought on some more people to help us with sort of the production angle of it. We have another camera guy, David Epkin, and then David Brandon and Nidhi Mehta, I never say her name right, who both worked on Guiding Light, came on and helped us out a lot.
Yeah, we had more help behind the scenes. first season of Empire was Brian, myself, and Stephen Slate, who was a Indie Soap Award
winner.
And really, we were the behind the scenes. And then we had our 9 actors, and we filmed most of it in my apartment in Williamsburg. We still filmed a lot in my apartment, but we filmed a lot all over. We were all over the tri-state area for season 2.
Are you the Haven Mansion or?
Wow,
you have a
room in my
mansion.
apartment.
I'm impressed.
The study is a room in my apartment. It's
We're gonna
actually
have a
my
big
cat's
party
room.
there at some point.
Yeah, we definitely will.
The bloody stain was your apartment.
That was the floor. Yeah, absolutely.
Since you guys debuted, I mean, there have been web series for many, many years, but since you guys debuted last July, there's been a number of really notable shows that came in, and we created the Indie Soap Awards, and I do this Indie Soap of the Week poll, and I think you guys are going to do very well. So many of those shows have debuted, and including Gotham and Venice.
Absolutely.
And Kristen Rogers is working on the
Anyone
show.
but me.
Like, what do you think about the other shows that you see out there?
Well, we're really excited for one because we actually feel like we're at the start of something. We feel like we're doing the right thing at the right time. Yeah. We're like, oh wow, we're doing something that's, it's not just for ourselves, it's for the world, and other people are catching on. People like Martha Byrne and Crystal Chappelle, and people that we've admired and watched, and it's really exciting to see them doing what we're doing. And
we've gotten just in time. we premiered, and then all of a sudden Venice, Gotham, Anyone But Me, and Imaginary Bitches was around right before us.
Last summer when you guys
like
debuted, I had never really seen an internet soap before. I didn't even know what to expect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So speaking of Imaginary Bitches, Damon and I appeared last summer on a special Emmy episode.
That's right.
We were given a line, but we also appeared in season 2 of Empire, but we weren't given any lines. We're just wondering why we didn't qualify for lines this season, and is there a chance we could return for season 3 with an actual line?
There is a good chance. Yes, we're right.
We'll give you lines.
There is
here. Good.
That was our biggest shoot day, and that was one of our first shoot days on season 2. So that was coming off of, the 3 of us, Brian, Steven, and myself, being the whole production team. And all of a sudden we had extras. We were on location in a bar. We had a time limit because they were going to open the bar. And Roger and Damon are bartenders, and Roger also hit a light pole.
I was the tallest person.
Because if you need someone to hit a light pole.
So we couldn't have done it without them. But
anything you can preview for us about season 3?
Oh, 3. I mean,
3?
3.
Well, let's watch 2 first.
Okay.
We'll confuse everyone. But the one thing that we are really excited about and that we're really trying to do is create the sense of community and let all the characters interact with each other. So people that you didn't see together in season 1, you're going to get to see together in season 2. And if you don't see them together in season 2, there's a good chance you'll see them together in season 3, which is a lot of fun, because different characters have different dynamics and you get to write different scenes. There's a lot of humor too that shows up in season 2 and
it's even more in season 3.
I'm excited to see Cubby and Sandra actually in color, because for most of season 1 they were in black and white.
Yeah, but they're now
Absolutely.
They're up in it. They're mixing it up.
And when we were at Tina Sloan's doing the Changing Shoes segment, I asked Kathryn Neville Browne, if she's prepared for the call from LA, because she's got some excellent scenes.
We saw some of her stuff the other night, and she is gonna. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, Sandra Haven, she's got it to a T. At the read-through, she hadn't had a chance to read the script, and she read every line so perfectly. For the first time, I didn't know it was the first time she'd read it, and when she told me that, I was so shocked. And she was shocked that we'd given her so much material, because last season she was all just a flashback, so she's really happy, and everybody's stuff's going to shine, but that stuff with Kathryn Neville Browne is really exciting, especially since she was mostly just regulated to black and white last season.
Wow. So we've got juicy soap, complex family dynamics, humor, intergenerational stories, suspense, people from Guiding Light, new production values. I cannot wait till April 27th to see this debut. I'm telling you.
Me neither.
So definitely check it out. Keep coming back to We Love Soaps. We're in the middle of the 12 Days of Empire as we count down to premiere day, and we'll have interviews and new features and expanded the segments you saw before, a little bit of additional footage from those as well.
If you are upset with daytime drama and the networks and the way they're conducting business, make sure you give EmpireTheSeries.com a chance, because I guarantee you will be entertained.
Great.